They were on a break.
Breaks don't count.
I'm taking a break.
We're recording
Taking a
now, by
break.
the way.
And we
I can hear. Hey, hey! Welcome to the WKN podcast. We're on season 2, episode 27. We're going to talk about hopefully some actual content tonight, but we'll see. These are our hosts. We're going to attempt it.
Casey.
Thomas,
Dustin.
And I'm Sylvia.
what's
And
up?
yeah, how's it going?
Who's that in the background? Sylvia.
Piper. He's my Piper kitty. She's incognito. So I'm just happy that she's not sticking her butthole
He's
in my
not
face.
blending in at all.
No, he's
I'm not blending in.
The little front white part of her is kind of blending in.
Yeah. Oh goodness. So what is today? Yeah, so this is
Monday.
Monday, yep. Well, Friday.
Friday. This is
But
Friday.
yeah, we had a good
not.
weekend. Yeah.
We're time travelers every single week.
Yeah.
What's that?
She needs her hair color done.
Oh,
Oh, my scalp was white.
Oh, your scalp is white. I know. It's probably from all the sun this weekend.
Yes.
it was 4th
Yeah.
of July.
It was 4th of
And
July.
Stacy went a couple of times to the water park.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
and Dominic.
Oh,
Yeah. Then she came to our water park.
The water
which
park
was
at our
cool.
house.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a
My
good
hair's too thick, so the sun can't get through.
get to your scalp. Yeah, we had a good 4th of July. Just kind of like
Just
laid back.
relax.
You guys came over, we made some food, hung out in the pool, watched a movie, maybe
We
illegally. I'm not
we
really
helped
sure.
increase the Armada's value by $1,000.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Got rid of the ninja on the front of the
Got a fresh
Armada.
hood paint job.
Yeah, I didn't go look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys never looked at it?
I didn't.
I drove
Oh,
it. I rode in it to Illinois, and I forgot to look at it until just like yesterday.
Wow.
It wasn't that
Well,
important. We
apparently it
sold
wasn't valued enough.
the boat.
did you sold the
Boat is gone.
Boat's
The boat
gone.
is gone. He
I'm gonna
took
actually have to
it.
buy a casket after all, it turns out.
Yeah, he actually sent us a message today and said he loved the boat and that it ran wonderfully. So I'm assuming that he figured out how to drive it quickly and didn't wreck it because jet boats are different to drive. And I still remember one of the first times I took it out and Justin was like throwing his hands up at me, like, "What are you doing?" Because it takes a second to park. So then I made him drive it and he rammed it, the ass end, into a dock. And that was our first scratch slash dent. Not from me, from him, because he's being a jerk. And I was like, "You think it's easy? Go ahead." And then he slams the ass end into a dock like so hard.
It was fine.
They're hard to drive. They're hard to drive. But I actually mastered it after a while. I thought, like, God, are we gonna have to go teach the guy how to drive it? Because they're hard. It's like a zero turn mower, it's all backwards.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a jet
Well,
ski. So if, there's no actual throttle, there's no steering because it's
Yeah, that's
a
true.
jet propeller. So if there's no force coming out of the thing where it turns you, then you
yeah,
can
there's
turn
no
the steering
prop.
wheel all you want. There's no prop, so it's not going to turn.
It's just a
So
very small rudder.
Right. So you have to kind of like, especially to park it, you have to nose in like kind of fast, and then you have to slam it in reverse and then turn the wheel the opposite way to get your butt to flop the opposite
so
way.
you nose in one way, and then whatever way you want your butt to go, you turn your wheel that way, put it in reverse, and then it slides the
So I
rear end
always
over.
do like a weird parallel park. I just kind of like sideways into it. It's
Well, see,
weird.
the way
But
you do
anyway,
it
I
though
guess
is you
he figured
come
it
in
out.
at a high rate of speed and then just slide sideways into the dock. Boom. And
That's
then
pretty much
Yeah,
exactly what happens.
that's pretty much what it is.
Exactly what happens. People are definitely like staring at you like, "Oh, she's coming in hot." And I'm like, "I know what I'm doing." Sort of.
then you slam it in reverse and then just
Yeah.
power slot
park it.
in.
Yeah, you power and that's the thing too, is that you have to power load them onto the boat too. Because they don't just like they won't keep going on the boat. So you have to like
On the trailer.
that's what I meant. The trailer, yeah. You have to power load it. So thankfully our our what are those? The loading things are all concrete, so you don't like dig a bigger hole in the bottom. Because yeah, I have to gas it to get up on there. And people definitely look at you like you're about to drive over the
All
top
the
of the
docks around here pretty much are
silt.
the yeah are
Yeah, so that makes it suck a little bit worse. But it's, if not, I'm not getting on. So, what you guys? We ended up going to Illinois on Saturday. What you guys end up doing? Anything?
We decided to
but
do
it,
a yeah, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Stacy's like, I want to go here. Okay, let's go. So we took off. As we're getting closer, she goes, oh, I didn't realize you were going all the way to Slade.
Oh, you
yeah
didn't realize that it was. Oh, dang.
yeah
Okay.
I knew it
It,
was over two
Oh,
hours away, but yeah,
oh well.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
it is what it is.
So she
But you
wanted to
guys didn't
go.
go to the one place, right? You went to just Daniel Boone, not that night 1893 or whatever it's called.
No, we
No,
didn't. We ended up not going there. She just wanted to go hang
Somewhere.
out or just go check out. I'm trying to remember the name of where we actually went.
Did you still take Stitch or did you
Both.
he didn't paper bag?
Yes, we took Stitch.
your box
Stitch
is on
wanted
the
to go
very
for a ride, so
Yeah.
by the way.
we decided to take Stitch for a ride.
Did you do trails
I'm
or did
trying to
you
remember
do
all of them.
how it's the pavement byway or whatever it's called?
No. Hold on. Hold on. I should have already had this pulled up, but I did not.
Way to
I'm
It
trying
go.
to remember what you wanted to go look at.
hold on.
I'm trying to find it. Uno momento, por favor. Where's oh, there they are. Right there. So, we ended up going through Indian
The
Creek.
Hmm.
Indian Creek's too.
Yeah, that's where we were.
The
Was
wall.
that was after
Wall.
what was the name? Because we ended up going through Nana Tunnel.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
There's a
but
bunch out there
there's an
across it. There's
overlook
their
that she
way.
wanted to go check out, and I cannot find it now for the life of me. Because that's where. But then after, yeah, see if you can find on your because you actually had it pulled up on Google Map where you wanted to go check it out. But we ended up after we got done there, she's looking it up and we'll find it. We actually just took off and she's like, "Hey, is there anywhere else you want to go?" And I was like, "Well, I really didn't want to go anywhere too crazy." Um, so I was like,
And you're
"Oh,
by yourself.
I just kind of looked on Onyx and was like,
Tunnel Ridge Road is
Tunnel Ridge Road.
where we were headed.
Yep. So there's a nice little overlook, but since it's summertime, it's kind of grown up pretty good. So it'd be
It's
Yeah.
a
over
really
Monument
good
Tunnel.
place to go look
In the
during
fall.
the fall.
Yeah.
Cool.
During the fall, early spring, before everything really starts growing up.
Yeah.
But we
Mhm.
literally drove over Nana Tunnel.
Oh, you drove
And
over it? That's cool.
yeah, we
Yeah.
drove actually over it.
Hmm.
Um,
We've only been through it.
So this is at the trailhead. This is the overlook.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
wow, okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
But there's
just
several pull-offs.
we didn't actually see it though because it
No.
was all grown up. There was another
Yeah.
section you could pull off that somewhat had a nice
Oh
little section
hmm.
Yeah. So
that you could kind of pull off to and look at, which was nice. But yeah, I mean it's just a regular gravel road. There's a lot of hiking
9 days
that you
ago.
can do over
But
there.
that's still cool that you can go do that in just like a pretty regular vehicle if someone wanted to. You know what I mean? You don't have to have a
Yeah,
Jeep
there
or
were people
something.
driving
You can still,
minivans and various other stuff
yeah, that's cool.
up there.
Yeah. And
So
still get to
from
see the
there
pretty.
we went
Yeah, from there we went to go check out Indian Creek Road, which is a trail on Onyx,
Hmm.
but it's literally a gravel road.
as well.
Um, and yeah, Indian Creek Road is the
These are
name of
all
it.
dead end though. One
Yeah,
way in, one way out.
one way in, one way out.
Was there
But
any creek crossings in that or no?
no,
No.
no.
Okay.
But there is a ton of camping spots, primitive camping spots.
Now here's the thing. You only need
We didn't take a, did you take a picture
a what?
when we stopped and actually got out at that one spot?
No. Um,
Oh well.
Like I can probably pull it up. Um, even y'all's trail, like you only need to camp in the national forest, you only need a pass.
Yeah, which we got our paperwork today. Dustin can get it here in a minute.
And I want to call and find out if the American Beautiful Pass we can camp with that, or do we need a separate like 3-day pass to do that?
Yeah.
But like the 3-day pass is like $9-10. It's literally cheap.
Mhm.
Um, but where there is one specific spot off of this one trail, like is completely wide open where y'all could pull in a trailer, RV, whatever.
Mhm.
There's no showers, but there are toilets. We found another one for
It's
tent
almost like
camping.
outhouse type style toilet
Okay.
Yeah.
restroom setup.
Well, once we get a motorhome, we'll be self-contained, so it won't matter. We
Yeah.
can go wherever.
Yeah.
But we took off of Indian Creek Road, though. We did take off
Let me see
Leatherwood Fork Road,
Indian Creek Road.
Leather Fork Road, and
Yeah.
that's where we kind of noticed a lot of the camping stuff. Um,
Mhm.
there was little pop-up travel trailers and some other stuff
Okay.
parked in there. There's a really nice creek that runs through. It runs parallel with the road. And where people were parked at, there's little turnoffs where people were parked at, and literally you can't even see where they're camping at until you find a different clearing in some of the spots. Some of the spots were literally right off the road, but others were kind of tucked back inside the road or outside the road, closer to the creek.
So it's real
Where you,
secluded, so serial killer
yeah,
can kill you easily there.
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
right.
makes sense.
But then further, after we got off of that, we continued further up Indian Creek Road, and we actually found two really good spots that they could hold it. You wouldn't be able to put a travel trailer into it. It would literally have to be tent
All
camping.
tents.
Um, but two really nice spots. There was somebody already in one of the spots, but a little ways up, not even not even a maybe 2/10 of a mile. There was another spot that we saw that we were able to get out and go walk, but
Mhm.
big enough area for at least maybe 4 or 5 tents set up. And then the creek itself is literally right there, and it was deep enough where you could literally walk about chest deep
Oh
almost
Oh
wow.
wow,
in some of the
nice.
areas. And there was a nice little rock overhang. I wish we should have. I don't know why we didn't get a picture. Um, but uh but yeah, I got them marked on Onyx where those locations are.
We'll
So
have to go
because
take a look
we're
at it.
actually we're gonna plan a weekend where we actually do camping and then hit like some of the Kentucky Adventure Tour roads, or hit something because it's all in that area. So
Yeah.
we even if we wanted to, we could go all the way to Hollerwood.
Yeah. It's just right
Hollywood
there.
was only maybe 20-30 minutes
So
from where
just
we were
From
at.
there.
the pinpoint of the Indian Creek camp area, which is a big enough area for
A travel trailer.
travel trailer.
Yeah, there were people we saw in that area.
Big travel trailers.
There was a couple small travel trailers. And then but it's a big enough area where your travel trailer could go, if not even an RV.
Yeah, you'll see how big it is from the aerial view. But yeah,
Getting to it'll be kind of fun
it'd be
Yeah.
fun.
driving a big truck like that through there. But it is a maintained gravel road.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Cool.
yeah.
So
So that's what we did on Sunday.
for cheap stuff, we always like cheap.
Yeah, I love cheap.
Yep.
That was
So
Saturday or Sunday? Did you guys do something yesterday?
that was
That was
Saturday.
was that Saturday?
That was Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday I went
Oh
to
yeah.
the water park,
Oh
but
yeah,
there's
that's right.
no.
Sunday you went to the
Yeah.
water park. Yeah, so on Saturday.
Yeah. We did nothing yesterday. We went to church and then to the grocery store and cooked, and I think that's like it. Pretty much nothing. It was great.
No,
It was fantastic.
no,
So,
no. I had a meeting, a voodoo meeting, and then
Oh yeah, that's what we did last minute. She forgot. She
and
forgot.
15 minutes before the meeting when someone said, "I'm gonna be late," and I'm like, "Late for what?"
you're like, oh
Oh
my God, me too. 30
yeah,
minutes at
I was
least.
like, "I'll be 30 minutes late," because I was still in my pajamas sitting on the couch. Yeah.
yeah. And I hadn't been home
I'd
that
ask if
long
they
to
could
begin.
FaceTime you in.
Yeah.
They waited for me. It was fine.
Yeah,
Good.
it was fun. But yeah, that's what we did on Sunday. And then she went to the water park. Her and Dominic. Dominic met us up there at Jeremy and Megan's, and then her and Dominic took off to the water park, and then I came back home.
Yeah.
Why did you go to the water park?
Thomas doesn't like water parks. I did.
I was doing some cleanup.
Well, he had to take out that inner crap in my grill that took him forever.
Oh yeah. So
We
that
had a trip. Let me just say, all the way to Daniel Boone and back. We had fun and Stitch.
no, well, while we're driving about, I'd say maybe a little over about an hour or so, I just happened to just glance at the dash, and all of a sudden I see a red light, and I'm like, "What
Oh
is that?
no.
Why is it saying we're overheating?"
Oh God.
Yeah. And then it disappeared pretty quick. So I was watching the temperature gauge. I turned on because you can see exactly the digital temperature. So I turned the option on for that. So I was watching it. But it was ranging between 220 and 240. At one point it got
Wow.
over to 251 or 252. So I was watching it.
Those
Um,
JKs are known for that though.
yeah, yeah, they do run hot, extra hot. But that was a little over
Extra
hot.
spicy. A little spicy.
Um, but I was watching it the whole trip. As long as I kept between 65, 70, um, it would stay in that 220, 230 range. But if I got to 75, 80, it would jump up into the 40s. And then getting down to slower speeds, 40 miles an hour, 30, 40 miles an hour, 50, it was down in the teens. So, but what I boiled it down to is airflow.
Yeah.
Because of the that aluminum grill piece that she had in there, that
Oh
American
yeah.
flag aluminum,
Hmm.
and then the little plastic vent grills. So I pulled all that out on Sunday, um, and they hot glued the aluminum shield onto the grill.
Did they really?
Yeah.
You have that put on an
And
invasion?
I'm not talking like dabs. I'm talking
It.
like chunks.
Really? They
I
installed
had
that?
I've cut my hand like 2 or 3 times trying to because it's real thin sheet metal.
Oh yeah.
And I cut my hand a few times trying to. I literally took channel locks to pull and a razor knife to kind of cut it enough to be able to pull it off. It literally looks like
You should
it's
have just
circled now.
let
now
it
I
sit
need
there
a
and
new
warm up, and then
grill.
you could have just peeled it off.
It was already pretty warm because the grill was sitting in the sun because I had the
Hmm.
garage. So the evening sun comes in onto our garage. So
But
with the
did you have
door.
that put on at invasion, or were
No, that was on when we
That
bought it.
was on when we bought it.
oh,
American flag.
Yeah,
She
so
doesn't have
whoever
it.
bought it or whoever had it,
they're the ones that
filled
put
that
the
full of
all the
hot
glue on
glue.
it?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So it is gone now. But she does need a
Nice.
new grill.
gotta have a new grill.
Because some of the plastic clips were broke on it. So
Hmm.
because of it.
Mhm.
So she's got to try to find a grill that she wants so we can get that put on.
Yeah.
A little bit better than the factory grill.
Yeah.
We did find a couple that look really nice.
Yeah.
And then along with that grill, there's a few other options that you can do that we're possibly going to do.
Yeah.
So
Fun.
here by the end of this year, first of next year, Stitch is going to look a little different on the front.
Yeah.
So Angry Grill and 392 swap.
Wow. She had a
Wow.
24 or 24 or 25 grill, and it's yours.
Yeah.
It will still be a JK grill
And a 5.7 and a 5.7 swap.
Even better.
before you ever get anything.
Mm-hmm. It's been overheating, Thomas. Yours doesn't
She
overheat.
needs
Hers
it.
does.
Yeah.
She needs it,
Yeah.
and you have to pay for it.
You can get my
It's really not that
hand-me-downs.
expensive.
You can get my hand-me-downs.
It really would. It's really not overly
Yeah,
expensive.
they're really
We can
not.
just swap motors. Let me have your motor. You can
Oh
have
no.
my
Oh no,
Well,
you
You
don't
he'll
don't
want his
want
motor.
that.
be ready for an upgrade.
His motor's already had to be rebuilt.
I know.
Like,
You don't want that. You
you
don't
don't
want
want
that.
that. You'd be worse off.
No, because I won't be surprised if it needs to be done before we can ever do the engine swap. Who knows?
Again, yeah.
Who knows?
We're gonna quit talking about that. Quit talking about it. Just ignore it. It'll go away.
You're
Hopefully.
just gonna do a front end delete
It'll go away.
and then tube chassis the
You
front
just
with
you just turn the
coilovers.
radio up, right?
No, I just thought it was funny watching him drive because I drive with one hand because I'm used to the way it drives. And I look
Yeah.
over and he's driving like this.
I'm not white. I'm not I was just holding it.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Tightly.
drive his like that
I do
though.
too.
So, you know.
I do.
You have to drive all Jeeps two hands wide knuckling because they swerve all over the road.
Yeah.
Mine's worse. You gotta
They're-
drive mine, Dustin. It's
They're
worse.
dangerous to drive.
Hers
If
walks
you own
bad.
one,
I
I'm
told
sorry.
you mine does this the whole all day. Like
In my
That's-
2013 Nissan Armada, I can literally drive down the road with one finger or less if I
I have
have
a
to.
Kia like that. I drive with my knee all day.
I could do 80 with my hands like this, and I wouldn't even sweat. Like, it's fine. It's not going anywhere. But here you are with your brand new Jeeps, white knuckling
Brand
it.
It's a 14, so yeah.
Well, Thomas is the
Mine-
same. Sylvia's the same way.
Mine is not.
Okay. All right.
Right,
There you
yeah.
go.
Moving on.
Dominic fixed mine with 100 pounds of wheel weights.
Yeah.
He can't. Don't throw a wheel weight because he can't do it anymore.
It's like half the wheel. It's fine.
Yeah, Dominic is no longer a discount tire.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
He got a better. Well, it's unfortunate to us, but he got a better.
Did
He
he
got
start
a
his job
job
yet?
offer
Did he
and
start
opportunity that you can't pass up, making
Yeah.
a lot more money,
for future?
actual benefits.
We can still get a
So-
discount through Kyle though, so it's fine.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yes. Just Dominic won't be there
It's just we can't
to
make Dominic do it, so that's kind of
service your vehicle.
that was the
Service.
funnest part is to be like Dominic. Here's another guy with 40, and he asked for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle will probably be calling Dominic and say, "Hey, one of your Jeep guys buddies are here, so you need to come
Come
do their
back.
tires real quick."
I heard you're off on Saturdays. Come on,
Yeah. Tell him he'll do it for $100
He's
a
going to
tire.
make all
and then-
Jeep appointments on Saturday when Dominic
Saturdays
can be.
only.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to get started on?
I thought we already were started.
Yeah, no, started
We've
on
been
our.
started for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
2 hours
on
already.
on our I forgot what it's called, like our actual topic. That nobody
yeah,
knew
a
what it
topic
was
that-
until just
What
now.
is the topic this week,
The topic
Sylvia?
that Thomas, Stacy, and Dustin probably on this side of me.
It's
No,
surprise.
depending
It's
on where
surprise
Sylvia is.
topic.
Or
I'm next
Dustin.
to Stacy.
Yeah. Hey, you're.
Hey,
So
how you doing?
I should be.
Sandwiched.
Am I pointing at the right direction?
I'm sandwiched.
For Dustin.
Y'all are bad.
Yes.
So,
Our topic.
but yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't know. Us
Yeah,
didn't
no one
know what the
asked.
topic
Us
was
up here
Until-
didn't know. She knew.
until down there told us, "Hey, this is what
I
we're talking
mean-
about," and it is
Yeah.
3 pages.
Front
Front
back.
and back.
If you guys
Front
could talk a
and
little
back.
faster, we could get through this. So no, what I just wanted to
Stay
talk about
tuned for
today.
part 2.
Stay tuned for part 2.
It may be. Thomas may have to tag team in next time. We're gonna see. We're gonna try to get this.
There's no tag
But-
team in nothing. I'm just saying.
Whoa.
No.
You were just
Tag.
happy that you were in the Stacy
Tag.
sandwich like 2 seconds ago, so that's all I'm saying.
Tag.
Tag me in. Okay.
Okay,
What's
that's
the
good.
topic, Sylvia?
Yeah, so
Sylvia.
the topic is trail etiquette and unspoken rules on the trail, which I feel like is something that we're constantly bitching about. At least in my head, I am. Whenever we're out on the trail and people are acting a fool or not just doing, I don't know, safe things. even
Which is
the
why
first
we're
one.
in the back and I don't allow the camera inside anymore.
Well, and not so much even, and I mean, I am because I talk some shit, but a lot of times it's not even our groups because I feel like that we try to talk about it in the beginning, people forget and they do stuff, but like just other groups and what they're doing. And I'm like, that's so like, you're going to get us all in trouble to where we can't do this anymore. So I feel like that's not only is it, to protect the sport in general to where people don't hate us and try to get wheeling shut down. And then two, it's just the safety aspect. And believe me, I do stupid stuff whenever I get all hyper. But to like be able to actually be an adult and reel yourself back in for safety and for keeping the
Yeah.
trails and just being respectful. Because I feel like we've grown a lot just in the last couple of years. Things that maybe before we were like, oh my God, this is so fun. Now we're like, oh, that's so trashy. We shouldn't do that. Don't do that. So, or just dangerous in general. I mean, we've been on some. I mean, we've got a gun pulled on us before, so that was kind of sketchy.
A whole group of us.
A whole group of us was on a trail that Daniel Boone said was their property, and someone else said it was their property, and they absolutely came out with a weapon. We all had weapons too, so we weren't afraid. However, we just played nice, and by the end of it, I'm pretty sure we all got invited to Thanksgiving dinner.
They wouldn't let me out of the vehicle, so because I don't play nice.
So
Well,
it
we
was
were all the way
fine.
back too, but by the
I'm
time we realized what was
super
going on, it was
Yeah, I'm super, super great at playing really stupid and very non-threatening in situations like that. So I was just like, John, shut up. Let me let me go up here. I got this. My little pigtails. I'm so sorry. We just lost. But stuff like that, now I'm like, if there's a even if the trail says that it is, if there's a gate, we're not opening it. I don't
yeah.
want to do that because there's usually a crazy person with a gun on the other side of it. It's the craziest thing. But yeah, so just respecting the trails is the first part. Stay on designated trails. We see this a lot with, and I have been one of them that have wanted to do that, but not creating like your own ways out of trails. Like how many times we drive down the trails and we just see where random trees and stuff have been cut down. It's a
Yeah.
giant no-no, guys. And like in the beginning, especially whenever I was on that thing with Steve, and I wanted to go home really bad because I thought he broke his axle, and I was trying to find a way out, and I was willing to cut down like every tree between me and the parking lot to get there. But people really do that now. Do you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Some areas, in most cases, you shouldn't mess with any vegetation, wildlife, or anything. Just let it be. There's already sections uh, marked for specific travel. But there are some minor incidences. I mean, if it's worst case scenario, you got to do what you
for
got to do to
sure,
get out of the spot. But
for
you do
sure. But
everything
if
you can to preserve and to maintain
that
that
trail,
area because it's there for a reason.
but if you're on a black trail and you're like every obstacle you can't get over, so you cut your own, you shouldn't be on that trail to begin with.
No, you shouldn't be on that trail,
And you have to be careful because sometimes the outside of the trail is private property. So you can't be
especially
cutting.
down in the Daniel Boone area for sure.
Mhm.
Yes, the only
Yeah.
ones that are not are the roads because they are roads, but everybody, people own the stuff to the sides of them. Yeah, it's crazy. And that kind of goes into the whole tread lightly
He's getting a phone
thing.
call.
Oh, that's okay. Like avoid unnecessary spinning of your tires to keep from damaging terrain. You don't have to mash it to get. I mean, sometimes you do. Don't get me wrong, but just to spin rocks and how many times have we went on trails and the whole terrain will change from vehicle to vehicle just from
Well, yeah, depending on how wet it is,
waterfalls
muddy it
there.
is, how much gravel. If you got 15 rigs trying to go through on the same trail,
Yeah.
the way the first person got through, the last person's going to have to either figure out a different route or along those lines, because one ways could be tore up by the time that last person gets there.
Yeah, so if you don't have to tear it up, try not to. That way, if 15 ties back, maybe he doesn't have to tear it up as bad to get through. These are all things that like like when someone says, but I feel like you don't really think about it until until like a little session like this where like this is why we don't do this, guys. Because I mean, heck, we went even just Hollywood. I
Mhm.
swear, like we would go like a month or 2 months difference, and the trails would be completely different just from washout, and you could tell just spinning them up, and pretty soon that stuff's all going to be gone if we're not careful.
Well, yeah,
Everything's going to be
especially
a double red.
yeah. Well, when we went to Hollywood in November for the meet and greet ride versus when it was what February, March
Mm-hmm.
when we did the
Yeah,
wheat ride, same
yeah,
we did basically the same trails, but they were all completely different.
yeah. It was crazy, and even then, the next day when we took other people out, you could just tell just from the rain from the night before and 100 people going through it the day
Yeah.
before.
Like Casey's climb. We didn't really have that
Oh,
big of an issue back in November, and then all of a sudden we did it
I had the worst
then
day
on a
ever there.
Sunday, and
There was no
we
making
had
it up
all
for me.
kinds of issues.
All
Yeah.
kinds of issues, all kinds. But yeah, so then that, and then kind of leaving a property the way that you find it.
You
People
do not
packing in
like
like beer cans and throwing their garbage everywhere. That is so
start all the way to the right
trashy.
side. That last one you take down, and it's easy to follow back.
Oh goodness. But yeah, so or just like moving things, at Wildcat, I guess if there's like a
I could hear
boat
everything you were
or
saying right there
that's
for a
okay.
minute.
I couldn't understand it. I could just hear a little bit.
Stacy's voice
But
carries,
that's okay. But like
even when she whispers.
At Wildcat, there's like a boat that people know about and they go see, and people literally have been driving on top of it and have just like completely torn it to pieces. It's just crazy to me. Is it the dog?
Laughing at Allie.
At who?
Allie.
Allie being all pregnant. We'll have to talk about that in a minute about how their dog is suddenly pregnant. They have no idea. I mean, they know how it happened, but they have no
Oh,
idea
they know
how it
how it
happened.
happens.
But we never
Allie,
actually saw it
yeah, yeah,
or
Allie,
Hey, that's
there.
why Bob
or even an
Barker always said
inclination.
you spay and neuter your pets, folks. Spay and neuter.
Poor baby.
Hashtag Bob Barker. Let's go.
Yeah, so their Dalmatian that loves to wheel is probably having some more knee sickness right now, and maybe a couple months until she's back on the trail.
Anyways,
I
Poor
digress.
Allie. That's cool. So yeah, so just respecting the actual land in general. And then oh my gosh, yielding and sharing the trails is guys, uphill traffic always has the right of way. It just does because you lose momentum. Freaking move over and let people climb up the damn hill. It's literally on the rules. Chat GPT it. It'll tell you that.
Chat.
Right.
It
It
literally says
really
it word
does.
for word.
It literally says uphill traffic right away.
Chat GPT or the actual rule book from the off-road park?
All of it. Chat GPT looks it all up for you. So this podcast is brought to you by Chat GPT.
But is it?
And we're canceled now.
We can't afford to say that. We're
Chat
sorry.
GPT just canceled us.
Yeah. They're deleting all our stuff off YouTube as we speak.
But
I'll
then
go to post this and be like, I'm sorry, you do not have an account anymore. Oh, cool.
This will
That's
be on
but
our
fine.
then
second account.
I know our second. We'll just keep doing it. We'll
So
call it something
season
else.
1, episode 1. Here we
We're
go.
brand new. We don't know what you're talking about. But but Thomas, I feel like we're pretty good about whenever other groups either meet us or if they're faster vehicles behind us, like maybe only one or two people, we have 15 or they're in side by side, we always try to move over and allow them to get past us so they don't have
There's
to.
usually always a way to work it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is. especially
I
when
mean,
you're
sometimes
running
they just
into each
gotta
other.
wait. Sometimes they just have to wait a minute until we get through something. But yeah. And then what's that thing that you always do to let them know like how many people and why do you do that? Like if you're meeting, and then what don't you always tell them like how many's in our group and
Yeah, you always want them to let them know so that they know about where they can either merge on or because some trails run into each other in various areas. So give them a courteous to say, "Hey, this is our last Jeep," just so that they know that they're able to go wherever they need to go once our last one comes. So they're not sitting there waiting and expecting other people to show up and there's nobody there.
Make sure
or
that the
going
last one
ahead.
lets them know that, hey, I'm the last one.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Yep.
So they're not waiting.
And you always want to, whoever has the least number in the group, as long as you're able to maneuver, go ahead and let them go through first, just for the fact that that either one they can get through faster than what you can. But to some trails you can't do that, where the smaller group is better to wait for the bigger group to go through just because of turnoff.
Yep.
But if the
Yeah, and
littler
it could
group can
be
go through, let them go through first because they'll get through the trail a lot faster than what your group of 15 can do. But
yeah, we
in
noticed
a lot
that
of incidents, though, it's almost impossible because not everybody has a way to pull off. So let the
right.
bigger group
Or it's
go
dangerous.
and the little group.
And there's times that you don't want to pass, like there's not enough room for two vehicles, so you don't want to pass on a thing like that. We noticed that a lot. It's more that, people would try to like back up on the trails and stuff to let us through, or the side by sides would definitely do that because they're so much smaller that it's like they could, I don't know, get over to the side a lot safer than, all of our like gladiators and stuff,
Yeah.
little large.
More definitely is a lot different than what we're normally used to, because there
Yeah,
was definitely a lot of places to pull off or even go around each other and not even be on the same trail, but you're able to go around each other and not even have to slow down.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's a nice thing too, is that whenever we were meeting someone, it's not like anybody was like, "Oh no, I'm going, over here. I don't care that I can, just go this way a teeny bit and avoid you guys completely and be on the same area." I feel like people at S'more were very good at, I guess, just kind of changing direction really quick just to avoid other people, and
Mhm.
nobody was like a butt about it. Like, no, I want to go on
Yeah.
his trail. So.
Are you going to bring up about later on? I don't know what's on your list about helping other people, other
Mhm.
groups. Okay.
Of course I am. It's on chat.
Well, because of an incident that happened at S'more, I was going to go ahead and plug that in now, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Nope,
working on
I
that
will.
video. I'm working on
Awesome,
that video.
awesome. Yeah, awesome.
It'll be up in
Um,
2 months.
in 2 weeks, is that what you said?
2 months.
2 months. It's perfect. So then whenever it's early, it's like great. But no, but I want to talk about
Well, remember,
the
like 3 weeks ago, I told you I was working on the rest of the video. I posted the one off Horseshoe, and then I was like, "Yeah, I started on the one. I'm gonna get that up like next week." And I literally haven't touched it since I started on it. It's just been
it's okay.
chilling there. So it's fine.
You forget it.
We'll get to
It's
them
just
eventually.
it's just marinating. It'll be even better.
After we go to like 4 different wheeling trips, after we go to Moab 2027,
It'll be fun.
the rest of this more video will be posted
Wait,
on our
we just
channel.
gained a year.
Just stay
Yeah.
tuned. It's fine.
It's all good.
And another thing that I think that our group is pretty good at, that I feel like is super important, is just
There.
group communication. Like we always establish a leader, a gunner, and a tail. Depending on how many people we have, and everyone always knows who's who and who to look for direction or help. And I feel like since we've been doing some of the bigger groups, we've been really great about um, like sending people ahead and then having not just the leader walk people through the obstacles and stuff. So I feel like that also helps us move a little faster on the trail. You agree with that?
It does.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then this
try to
is
have
this
a
is
If
more
you got that many
experienced
people, like we got
front, middle,
15
and
people, you can't wait for, like if you drive all the way down and then you try to help the next 8 people through, you can't just chill up there and help the following 8 people through
well,
because
Thomas can, because Thomas can
then
ride.
like there's a backup or whatever it is. So that's
He
why
can
you have
run
someone
from
in
the
the
very
middle.
last person back to his
You
car.
need someone in the middle. So the first person through helps the next, 5 or
Yeah.
6, and then the middle person jumps in,
Yeah.
takes over from there, whatever it is. But yeah.
I feel like that's always great too. And so use radios, my lord, because if like you have to radio whenever you have that many people, like we have to radio to keep like knowing what the heck is up next from us, but just everybody in general. Because one of the problems that I feel like every group I've ever been in, whether I've led it, followed it, had nothing to do with it altogether, is always keep the vehicle behind you in sight, no matter what, or the vehicle in front of you in sight. Like, do not lose sight of a vehicle. This is like, I feel like
And if you do, say something
on your radio.
on the radio.
Don't tell your wife.
So like, hold up in the
see,
front
you
because
see
I
Thomas?
can't see whoever's behind me.
Yeah,
Know the person in front of you and behind you. I feel like
know their
that's been our
names.
biggest problem.
Yes.
Hey, I don't know your name in front of me, but I know what you drive, and I can't see you no more. Let's stop. Can y'all slow
Yeah.
down?
Yeah,
If
because
you can't see them, they can't see you, vice versa. And I think that's been the biggest obstacle.
Also, here's an idea: like 6 people max in your group.
But that's not always what's going
The
to happen.
person in
It's
front
not.
can always see the 6th person in line, so you never
I
have
can
to worry
usually
about
see
it.
I can usually see about 4 or 5 behind me. So
Then that's
after the
perfect.
4 or 5, I can't
I,
see
I, I
anything.
overestimated. I'm sorry. 4 to 5 people in groups. If once you hit that limit, next 4 to 5 break off into another group. See you later. Hope you all have fun. We're taking R4 and we're moving on.
Well, that's where you have the middle person, and they have that's
And
that's where you have basically 2 groups in one. We just like to stay kind of together,
connected.
but
Yeah.
again, communication. Got to
Yeah.
have the right person in the middle.
Yeah.
yeah, because especially going down an obstacle, the first 3 people, they're gonna be way far up the trailhead before number 5, 6, 7 even is attempting to go down that hill.
Yeah.
You
So
have people like David and Scotty that goes balls to the walls down a hill, and then you got people like Thomas that go snail speeds.
I
He
like
does
to
go
crawl.
speed. It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, there's nothing
He
wrong
likes
with it.
you.
I'm just
He
saying.
likes
Just put
you
it in
because it's got the
neutral and let
button.
it go, Thomas.
Yep.
I don't even use that button. I just let off the accelerators, throw it in first gear, and just let
And
my
let it
Jeep
go.
do its thing.
It just crawls. But by the time he gets down, he doesn't see the person in front of him, depending on who it is. Because
Yeah.
if it's like Dan's waiting,
Yeah.
or John's waiting. If it's a new person, they're gone.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah.
They're just trying to keep up with people in front of them because they don't want to get lost.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And yeah, and even though like we all have the same map, sometimes the map says that you're turning and you're not turning. So that's kind of hard. But yeah, so just radio ahead. That is like my biggest pet peeve. Um, and going back to like what Thomas was saying, hill climbs I feel like is a little different. So if you're gonna do a hill climb or a descent, sometimes you have to let them go. And a hill climb, definitely, sometimes you can't stop and wait until you see them, but just radio ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and go to the flat ground and I'm going to wait for everybody. Because we had to do that a lot because we had 2 manuals with us that can't just stop on a steep incline. But again, communication, just freaking say that so the people in the back aren't worried. Because sometimes it is stressful for a new person if they don't know where we're going, and then there's, you go and it's a fork, and they have
Half
no.
the time, we don't know where we're going.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why it's worse.
But we know we don't know where
We
we're
d-
going.
Yeah.
Everybody
They
else
don't
knows.
know.
They don't know, though. We don't know where we're going.
Yeah, if you don't know
Exactly.
that we don't know that we don't know where we're going, then that's
Right.
on you. I'm sorry. Use your radio. Oh, and make sure they're charged. That's another great one. Or because they're not helpful if we're talking to you and you're not answering because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, my battery was dead an hour ago. I'm like, great. That's
I left my radio on in my truck all week, but it should be fine.
And plug in your radio.
your radio. I know, right?
No, phone's more important without signal.
That's true. So,
Oh,
but like also with the hill climbs is that it's important if you are waiting to communicate when you are clear, because if not, we might be waiting literally 10 damn minutes thinking you haven't got down the hill yet and you're gone, So let us know when you get up a hill, down a hill, through an obstacle. These, I feel like these should be written rules, not unwritten. I feel like we need to we're going to have to get a like
manual.
No one's
poster,
gonna read that.
a poster.
No one's reading that.
Everyone's getting a poster, like slap it on their steering wheel.
On your windshield, boom.
Yeah.
In the corner of your windshield.
Right in front of
Going
the
on the
driver.
waiver.
Right in front of the driver. Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to give plenty of space going up and down those too. Like, I don't think any of us have ever tapped anybody. None of us have tapped each other, have we?
No. Can I just say at the beginning of our trips, everybody gives space, but by day 2 and 3, we're all on top of each other. At S'more, it was like, I'm waiting at the bottom of the hill. Let me know that you're at the top. Okay, I'm at the top, you can go. I'm at the bottom, you can go. Day 3, we're all like this.
Yeah.
Go! Go! What are you waiting on?
Like, move up the
Yeah.
hill. I got no room to come up.
And we're all stuck. Where is nobody moving? We're like on an incline, nobody can move.
Because everyone was
45
tired at that point.
degrees, blood
And there
rushing
was-
to your head.
And again, there was
We don't
500
know
people
where we're
there.
at. I'm like,
No wonder
This is
everyone was
why you wait at the
frustrated,
bottom
like
of the hill.
sitting at the bottom of the hill for like an hour and a half, waiting on 12 people to go up. Like, no. Guess what? If there was 4 people, it'd already be up and be gone.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just saying.
just saying.
I'm gonna get a
Anyways.
shirt that says 4 Jeeps Max, and I'm
4
gonna wear
Jeeps
that
Max.
around.
4 Jeep Max up.
4 Jeep Maximum.
Well, see, once you and Stacy get your rigs,
Then
like,
that's
super
perfect.
ready,
Then it's
then we're
you
done.
and me
Sorry,
and
everyone.
Stacy and Thomas, and that's 4. And sorry
Just
about
flip
everybody
it.
else. We're going wheeling.
Oh my gosh.
Is what it is.
You're in the back half of the group now.
That's right.
That's his shirt. Foursomes only.
No.
Yeah.
my God.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
No.
They're joking. They're joking.
I'll wear that
No.
to the
That's
day
a
we go
t-shirt
to.
though.
I'll wear
Have
that.
Jeeps. Have 4 Jeeps. And say
Yeah, foursomes
foursome
only.
only. And just
Fab
have 4 Jeeps.
foursome.
I'll print that out and then I'll wear that to the day we go to Invasion.
We're going to have to stay away from him. People are going to be talking.
Yeah. The
Oh,
on your
that's funny.
chest say foursomes only, and then on the back it's got a bunch of Jeeps. It's got 4 Jeeps.
Oh, that'd
And
be
a
funny,
few-
actually. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Can't do 4.
So, speaking of making sure that your radio is in working order, Stacy's going to get so pissed. If
Make sure
you
your
start-
Jeep's in fucking working order. She
Check
knew.
your tires. Check your tires. Check your fluids before heading out. Have recovery
Sorry,
gear.
Dustin.
It's fine.
Have recovery gear is a big one. Just a tree saver. What the hell are those?
Shackles.
Soft shackle. I mean, those 2 right there, along with your winch, can get you out of just about everything. So if you can't afford a whole lot of crap, just get those 2 things. And
What if I don't have a winch? And I only got 31-inch street tires.
then you're not coming with us right now. I'm
But I
sorry.
want to come. You all hate me?
We didn't even go to Daniel Boone without going to
Wow.
buy an air compressor for my Jeep.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just buy an air compressor the other day at Harbor Freight?
Why don't you just borrow one of ours? Why don't you just borrow one of mine?
Because you
Okay.
went the other direction.
I got a receipt yesterday, I think. And I was like, what is this? Someone bought an air compressor?
What do you mean someone? It was either me or Thomas or you.
I know. I figured it was
It was me.
Thomas.
It was
I was
me.
like, that's
It was
random.
me.
And then
Stacy did.
today I got
Stacy.
the extended warranty thing. I
I
need to send
did
that to
that.
you.
I did that.
Did you
Not
email it
him.
to him?
I did it.
I haven't yet, but I will. I
I
saw it
don't
come
think-
through
I
and
don't
I was
think
like,
I've
wait,
sold-
another thing from Harbor Freight? What is Thomas doing? He's like on a shopping spree here. And I was like, oh wait, that's just the extended warranty he bought. I need to forward that to him. And then I got a call and then I forgot about it until just now. But
That's fine. All we got to do for the
I think
warranty, we don't even need the receipt. We just look it up under the phone number.
okay.
Which, off subject, the lady said if you have any warranties with them, before it goes out, bring it in and change it out. Whether there's something wrong with it or not.
I don't know if we can actually say that or not, but whatever.
Whatever. I don't think Harbor Freight's going to watch this.
I'll just cut that part out. It's fine.
If not, they're already going to cancel us for letting you guys be Dustin McNally.
Yeah, ChatGPT has already canceled us anyhow, so we'll never make it to this part.
It's
No.
fine.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But Harbor Freight does have recovery gear.
They do.
Yes.
So if you don't have any, that is a decent place to get some that's not super expensive. That I have some of their stuff. It works fine.
I do
Thomas has their winch. It works great. You get the extended warranty because he's used that a few
Make sure
times.
you get the extended warranty.
I'm
If
on
you
number.
get the Badlands winch, get
If it's a
the
Badlands, buy the extended warranty.
I'm on
Thomas
number
is up.
4.
Yeah.
But the extended warranty, they don't ask any questions. He just goes and gets them a new one.
Mine actually
You
broke.
give them an extra like $40, and then they'll just give you a new one every year. It's fine.
Well, it's a little more than $40, but yeah, depending on the year, depending
still
on the
worth it.
price.
Oh well, the air compressor was $40, so that's what it was.
Yeah, depending on the price of what you're getting, like the Badlands Witch for a year, you're looking at a little over $100, and for a 2-year, it's like $200 something.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
And you get it every year, 2 years.
A
Just
two
get-
so far,
year,
none of mine have
is
lasted 2
$200.
years. Yeah, none of mine. Well, because it's based off of $5.99.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but so you're paying $4.99 for the winch, and then $200 for the extended warranty.
Mhm.
So that's like $6.99. So at that point, you could have just bought like a Warren or a Smitty built.
No,
or,
Warren's
It could still
cost more
go
than
bad
that.
though. Yeah, but it could
Warren
still go
costs
bad.
more. You're looking at over $1,000 for a Warren,
Mhm.
depending on which one. If you want to get
maybe.
one of the good ones, you're looking at over $1,000 for a good Warren winch.
They find value in the $200 extended warranty, so it's good. As long as they're happy.
I've been
We're
through
happy.
4 of them.
Yeah.
And
But
don't worry
then
about
that
getting
means-
the 2-year.
Well,
I made the mistake getting the 2-year. I should have just went ahead and did the 1-year because none of my winches have lasted
I've lasted
over
2
Yeah.
6 months.
But that also means you got $600 in warranties for the 3 that you swapped out, plus $2,000 in winches.
Well, one of those
You got
was still
$2,600
90-day
in
warranty.
winches?
So
Yeah.
I've only paid for 2 warranties.
Yeah.
I've only paid for 2 warranties.
Yeah, because they go further. They go out further. Like if
Yeah,
if you
because
get stuff on there.
the last one that I just got, the last warranty I just got, it actually transferred it to winch number 4 because winch number 3 was still within the 90 days.
Yeah, so no.
So they just transferred.
Okay.
So they
This
just
sounds
and I
bad.
guarantee
But
anybody
Thomas
that's watching this
uses
right
his
now
winch.
should have said you should have went ahead and got a warrant and you'd be done with it. Not always the case.
But Thomas abuses his winch a teeny bit.
And
He
Thomas
uses
is
it.
the guy that tries to
I
talk
am the
you
anchor.
into the most expensive thing you can buy,
But
For
he
everything.
likes the Badlands.
except for
The
the Badlands
only
winch.
thing that's not uppity up on his Jeep is his winch.
Is
I'm
the
just
winch.
saying.
And you know what?
And that's the thing he uses the most.
But again,
Oh,
it has not failed him on the trail, so that's good.
nope.
It's always outside of the trail. It's usually when he's pulling down.
As soon as he buys a Warren, it's gonna break on him, and he's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
throw everything and
absolutely.
go back to his Badlands. So
Warren, if you're listening to this, send us
Sponsor
some
us.
winches.
Yeah.
We'll test them
test
out
it.
against the Badlands durability, and you can prove yourself.
I like that.
I have Smitty built. So
We need to get with
do.
Marvin. We need to get with
Well,
Marvin.
that's
Flex
still
Rocks and
funny
Roll because I can
because-
hear him right now in his
Yeah,
accent saying, "Should have got a Warren."
should have bought a
Yeah.
Warren.
But what's funny is whenever he said that during that video, he was winching with my winch, and it wasn't a Warren. That's what was funny.
It's a Smitty built.
He was saying the
Yeah,
other
that's
winch
true.
that their winch didn't work, and he was using my winch. He's like, should have bought a warrant. I'm like, it's pretty built,
It's fine.
but it's fine. I can't afford a winch or a warrant.
But dude, I mean, we've had that Smitty built since the very first
Don't talk
invasion
about it.
we went to. And we ain't had
The only thing that
the
went
only
bad
thing
on
that
it
went
was
bad
the
was
switch,
that little switch, the
but
on-off
it was
switch.
weathered. It was from
Yeah,
the
and you were
rain or
able to
something.
replace it. Same
Yeah.
thing with John's. His
We have an
switch
extra
messed
one
up
now,
on his.
actually, just in case if it doesn't.
Yeah, because I bought one
What
off
talking
Amazon
about?
because when I went to
My
I
on-off switch.
emailed Smitty built about it, the on-off switch, and they're like, yeah, we can send you one, but then they said it would probably take like 3 to 4 weeks to get here, and then we were going somewhere like the next week, so then I ordered one off Amazon for like $8. It was just a two-way toggle switch that would fit in there, and then replace it, and then they sent us the other one, and I haven't even swapped that out. The other toggle switch is in her glove box. The one
Remember,
that
because
Smitty built sent us for warranty, but the Amazon one's still in there, and until that one goes bad, I'm not planning on swapping it out again.
There's no reason
Right in there.
when my winch stopped working,
That
the
was the
day
day
that Trail
that
Guide Thomas tried to kill me.
Yeah, she one wheeled down the hill.
You mean
And then,
Trail Guy
no.
Thomas?
Yeah, as I said, Trail Guide Thomas tried to kill me.
Yeah.
But talking about your winch, before you leave on a trip of any
Make
kind,
sure it
your
works.
week,
Freaking turn it on.
check all your connectors. Make sure it
Check your
works.
batteries in this thing. Make sure your battery works, or you have the
Make
cable.
sure you have it with you and you didn't leave it at home or at your campsites.
Make sure you got
And
plenty
if
of
yours
engine oil,
is-
transmission fluid, power steering fluid, brake fluid, engine
An
coolant,
extra tire.
a
Extra tire is a
spare
good thing to
tire,
have.
anything you can think of that you may or may not need. Check it before you
What
go.
do they need if they don't have synthetic rope on and they have a cable on their
They
winch?
need to stay home. Is what they need.
They need a heavy. They need one of those. They need one of those heavy things. So whenever
You need
it
a blanket
snaps,
or something to put on there.
To put
Yeah.
on it in case it breaks.
And realistically, even
No,
with the
I should
static,
have one of
it's a
those
good
in
idea
mine.
too. Also,
Yeah, I should put one in mine just because people that don't know that.
I know.
I cannot stand winching people that have a metal one. I get real nervous. Like I just know it's gonna break and cut me in half. I just know it. And then
They're
who's gonna
sketchy.
fix me? Because no one does the stitches. I need someone to feel like they can do stitches.
If
my
you
gut-
get cut in half with a winch
I can
rope,
sew you up.
you're
I
not
can sew
going
you
to
up.
I'm
need
gonna-
stitches.
then I'll stand next
You're going
to
to need
Thomas.
way more than that. We're going to
Well,
have to
because-
stitch your organs together
I'll get
inside
an
first.
embroidery machine and
You
carry
just-
it in my duffel bag.
You just shove. You just shove my guts. You just shove my guts back in. They don't have to be in any special order. Just stick them in there. Sew me up like a little mattress or a little whip stitch. Throw my
Yeah,
ass in the back.
But what
Tape you up
happens
with the
if your
trash
gut-
We'll
bag.
just use some flex tape.
What happens
Okay.
if your guts are severed? You still stuff them back in there.
No,
I mean, I
you
would.
wrap them up with
Yeah.
duct tape and zip ties.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And get me to the hospital so they can fix me.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Rub some dirt on it, or drink some water, and you'll be fine.
Dustin,
Or-
we're going to go the other way because these two are going to be in so much
Or
trouble.
just don't use a steel winch cable. Those
That
are from
too.
like the 1970s, dude.
And why are they always rusted when people come?
Because
like,
they're
what?
steel.
Steel.
And they set
I
out in the
know.
weather.
I'm like, this is a bad plan. Like, don't bring that
Yeah.
around me.
Also,
So,
though,
We snapped that
with the winch
synthetic one, I
cables-
will say, in the backyard, but those are designed like whenever they snap, they just fall. They're not like
Yeah.
whipping around like a steel cable would.
Yeah. So if you have a steel cable, really spend $100, get a synthetic rope, and switch it out because they are so dangerous. They're
And
so
you probably have to
dangerous.
switch out your fair lead too, because they have those
you will.
roller things
Yeah, you
on
switch out
there
the fair lead.
as well.
You know what? If you're local, we'll help you.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to die. So
And it's a good idea to have a spare cable that doesn't take up a
Yeah.
lot of room, but have a spare synthetic line. One, you can use it as a an extension
Extension. Yep.
Mhm.
if need to, and two, if yours were to fail, you
You have another.
can replace it.
Yeah, because I have my old ones too. I don't. Sometimes we
too.
bring it, sometimes we don't.
Mine's in my
But
mine's in my
again-
box, my recovery box.
Yeah, but we're talking about shoving guts and stuff in for real. Bring your Band-Aids. Everyone needs to
First aid
have
kit,
First
trauma
aid kit
kit,
for
kit
sure.
or
Yeah.
some
a
kind of,
trauma kit. Trauma kit
not
is
just a
what I
regular
would
first
prefer.
aid kit with Band-Aids and ibuprofen and some
Yeah,
Advil.
you need
You
a
know, like a
trauma
real
kit.
trauma kit for any major issues that happen, because you could be out where there's zero cell service, and it could take 3 hours or more just to get to a clearing where you can get cell
What
service.
we do, it is very likely that we could be impaled, that we
Yep.
could lose a limb in a
Fall on
rollover.
the Jeep.
Whoa. Too far.
Dan.
I mean, seriously, that you could have severe head injuries. I mean, there is a bunch of stuff, neck injuries. I keep a bunch of stitches. I keep a bunch of suture, and I'm going to get one of those staple things because we have, knock on wood, been very, very fortunate on not having anything crazy. But even when we were at Alabama, they had what, 8 helicopter spots to come get
Yeah.
people because the shit is crazy.
With the medevac phones up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you, like he was saying though, we're laughing about duct tape, but duct tape really could save someone long enough for a helicopter to come get them. So I've talked to people about it, and they said that you can't get in trouble if you're actually trying to, like, if they're going to die anyway, and you try to duct tape them together and they still die, but it's better than nothing.
Here's an idea.
Don't be afraid to help.
Spray foam.
Ooh,
Oh,
You
yeah.
got a big gash, fill that sucker full of spray foam, duct tape around it, stop the bleeding right
done,
away.
done.
Instant.
Don't they actually have something like that at the war though? Don't they have something you just put in bullet things that kind of like spread up like tampons, kind of like a
They
pack
do.
thing?
They do, but I don't think civilians can get that.
I
Oh,
mean,
Yeah,
tampons would
you
probably
can
work.
get you basically something along the lines of there's quick clot gauze. There's
It's
that kind
that
of stuff
stuff.
that works really, really well. I've had to use it on somebody that cut their arm open pretty bad.
here's
Wrap
another
that up
idea.
and it
If you ever seen Rambo, he takes the thing and he knocks the bullet out of the shell. He
Oh
pours the
yeah.
gunpowder into his gunshot
and
and he
lights
lights
it.
it on fire and it
Cauterize.
cauterizes
So
the
if it's
wound.
us, so if it's us four, we're gonna have plenty of bullet. Like
Yeah.
we'll have plenty, but we won't have any lighters because none of us smoke.
I do.
We do.
I have like
Get a
3 or 4
lighter?
different lighting devices, lighter type fire
I
making
do not.
devices.
I thought,
You could use the propane soup
oh yeah,
Your jet
can
boil.
thing.
Use your
Yeah.
jet boil.
yeah.
Yeah.
Allie Grace.
That'd be awesome.
I wouldn't
Allie
even.
Grace.
I would just melt you with that. Just it'd be fine. So, oh, but yeah,
Don't do
bring
that.
your
Don't do that.
water because again, especially if you're by yourself or maybe only one or two people, you can get lost quite easily. And yeah, food and water, and carry a GPS maps. I feel like those are all self-explanatory, but a lot of times people go and they don't know, and we're like, okay, you guys have your Onyx up, and we'll transfer you the maps, and they don't have that.
And
So
you really shouldn't go by yourself in either
Yeah, you should go
anyway.
by yourselves. At least take one other person
Should
with
have
you.
at least one other person or another person vehicle with you.
Yeah.
vehicle, yes, that also has a winch and stuff
As
because nothing's
recovery.
going to help you if. I mean, Thomas always has everything, but sometimes it is. What happens if Thomas is the one hanging over a ledge? Then that ain't gonna help if we don't have the shit to hold on to him, you know. So we can't have everything. So another safety thing is just environmental. And this was another thing that we kind of got into last time is know before you go, check freaking the weather about storms, high winds. We almost got stuck in those trees falling down at Daniel Boone last Memorial Day.
Yep.
Memorial Day. This Memorial Day, we were flash flooding. That was kind of sketchy. And tell people where you're going, especially if you do go alone, even if like where Thomas and Stacy we're just out on regular roads, but they still need to, you know, I'm sure Dominic or someone knew where they were going. Anytime you're out, places like that, let someone know. But so now we're gonna get into the last thing that I have is the trail courtesy. I don't know. I feel like I am not friendly, but I'm friendly on the trail. I wave at everybody. Super friendly because you never know if you're gonna need their help later. It'll be a little nice.
Right.
Um, but offer help if they're stuck or broken down, or just in a bad situation? Did you want to go ahead and throw in your story?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we've done it. We've done it quite a few times,
Multiple times.
helping other people off. But this last one, when we were at S'more, um, that a guy, he just for this
You just bought
specific
it, right?
trip. Well, he for this specific trip that he went on to S'more over Memorial, he got gears done, and a few other stuff. I think even axle shafts and whatnot. And they were coming up this climbing a hill, and it really wasn't. I'd say it was rated what, a 3, if that.
It was
I
green. It was green, yeah.
mean, between a 2 and a 3, that type of hill. According to S'more, 6 is like their max, um, but it was between a 2 and a 3. And he ended up losing 4-wheel drive. He lost the front end. It just quit pulling. They
And
backed
his
down the hill.
locker too, right? Didn't he lose
Yeah,
his locker
Yeah.
too?
he
Everything.
lost all of it.
Because if he
Yeah.
would have had his locker, he could have made it in 4 high, right?
Maybe.
No, not necessarily. No, he wouldn't have been able to make it just because of how slippery. Well, it wasn't really slippery, but there's a lot of pea gravel at S'more, and as wet as it was, he wouldn't have made it up. So I went down and we hooked him up, and I pulled him up the hill.
Yeah. They
I
were
pulled him up
so
the hill,
thankful. They were so
and
thankful.
we yeah, he was able to still roll, but he didn't have he lost 4-wheel drive, so the front wasn't working. He only had 2-wheel drive. And then I know there's been a few other times where we've had to winch other people.
Mhm.
Heck, when we were at the at Windrock on Trail 16 last year after Invasion, not only did we have somebody roll over in our group, but the group that was behind us that wasn't a part of the Warren ride,
Mhm.
they had a rollover, and we all ran back to go help them out. And it's a good thing we did because they didn't have all the recovery gear that they needed to pull somebody back upright.
Back 2 rolls ago, check your shit. Make sure you have the stuff that you need.
Her winch was not
Her winch
working.
did not work. Her winch did not work. She had a lot of
Nope.
cute lights, though.
I don't even think it was hooked up. I don't even think it was hooked up.
She did not have her cord, or if it was wireless, she didn't have it with her. And
Wireless, always bring your cord.
yes.
And again, I
she-
feel like that's the
you
thing.
can
Like, if they're
manually
gonna
do it, but it was not working.
We were
post
on
these
trail
rides and like
6.
actually have the tech inspection, the tech inspection needs to be done.
Like
Like,
at Hollywood.
if you
We
say
did that once a week.
it's 37s, winch required, locks required, hold over the side and make sure all that crap works before you let anybody in. Because if not, then you're just screwing
It's
everybody
dangerous
else.
for everyone. Yep. Yeah. That was the craziest thing is we were on 16. 16 is a very, very hard trail. So to have someone on there who did not have the correct equipment is so dangerous.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous.
9 hours, one trail. 9 hours.
But again, like, we probably could have done that in 5
4.
hours, 4
4 to
hours
5
even.
hours.
That was also a day that I was in my head wanting to cut down every tree on the way to the parking lot so I could just get the hell off that trail. That and 2X. Hate those trails.
We're
2X
still
is
going
a-
back.
No, we are not.
We can go on the TJ. When
we're
Dustin
never
gets
going-
the TJ done, we'll go on
Well,
the TJ. It'll be
We'll
perfect.
We'll go again, and then y'all just ride with me.
I'll go with you in the TJ.
You're
take
the
that.
problem.
How am I the
I
problem?
don't know.
I'm
No,
not
Sylvia,
broken
Thomas.
there.
Hey,
Thomas
okay.
is the problem.
Sylvia will go with just Stitch when Stitch has lockers.
The
Stitch
TJ
will go
and
right up
the
and down.
TJ and Stitch can go together. No more Thomas with his huge ass bed. If
Yeah.
you'd bob that son of a bitch, then we could
It's
go
still
right
gonna
through
have
there.
the same problem.
No,
Can
it
we
ain't.
just take it off for like a day? Can we just do that? Like
Just,
take it off for a
just
day?
unbolt it for the day. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Still
Just one
long.
day.
Still gonna be too long.
That's what she said.
We're gonna try it. We're gonna just test the theory and see. It'll be
Still
fine.
gonna be too long.
Yeah,
take
well, I
you'll
was
take
on
the
a
bumper
4-inch
off, too.
lift in 37s.
Yeah, so 40s
when we did
now.
it the first time. Now I'm on 40s and a lot taller lift.
He's still gonna be like this.
Mm-hmm. You're still gonna get that high center there,
And
bro.
You know what, Thomas? Is we can bring a shovel and we can like scoop the top off of every hill.
We just make flat tops. Just
Yeah,
make
flat
flat tops.
tops.
Plateaus.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
What you do is run a backhoe and drive it through there first and scrape off the top of all the hills. And then loop back around and then pick up your gladiator and then you can make it.
Yeah.
Don't
So kind of
tell
talking
Red
about
Shirt
that,
about
one of the other trail courtesies, and I feel like it's just a freaking rule and of not being a shitty person, is that we don't leave people behind, even if we want to on 2X. We don't leave anybody behind.
as much as
Everybody,
you want to.
as much as you want to. Or even like when I was so fed up on 16 by the time I had to pull that kid up in his freaking TJ or YJ.
EJ.
But
On
no,
a
I'm like,
manual
no,
that
we're
had
all leaving.
only 4 high.
Like we're all leaving. I hooked my freaking Jeep, my Jeep barely pulls itself, and I'm trying to haul this thing up a steep, rocky ledge hill. It's fine, but we don't leave people behind. We don't leave their rigs behind if it can be helped. That is another thing I cannot
You know
believe.
what's crazy
Is
is
how people have like rolled and then people just leave it upside down in the water. You better be trying to. Okay, Harper, whatever your middle name is, where is your mother? My kid's badass cat.
what's crazy is it's like a month away from being a year
At the
now,
same time,
and we're still talking about
still
it.
traumatized. We're still
Still
traumatized.
talking about it. A year later.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Oh goodness.
It was good times. It was
It was
fun.
a good
Yeah.
time.
I had fun.
We'll have to
No
see what
reckless
happens this year.
driving. Yeah, no reckless driving. Don't hog the obstacles. Don't drink and drive. I feel like that is one of the big differences um, between like Jeeps and maybe side by sides. I don't know why they're
More
always
so for side by sides than,
I don't know why they
but
always have
yes.
tons of beer with it. Like that's a bad plan. We just talked about last week that lady that was in the side by side. I think she was in the side by side. Ended up saying died. We're like, we can't be stupid because it's too easy to die with the quickness.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you guys have anything to add? That was all I had. And look, it was not 2 hours. I think I've only been talking like 40 minutes. So
I'll just add foursomes only.
4G for some something.
I just want to just make sure you're whatever you're in side by side. I don't care if you're in a four-wheeler. I don't care if you're on side by side. I don't care if you're in a Jeep, a Gladiator, a
Dirt bike.
Toyota. I don't care if you're in a Bronco. Make sure it's in working condition. Make sure your lockers work. Make sure just uh, make sure it's working. Make sure
And
that
it's different if you
before
show
you
up.
leave the parking lot, before you leave home,
Yeah,
everything is in
It's
stuff,
good
different if it breaks on
working
the trail, but
condition.
don't show up
stuff
broken and
breaks
then
on the
expect
trail.
someone
Yeah.
else to pull you through it, more or less.
Don't throw band-aids on it. Fix it.
Yeah, like
I refuse. If
we
I
should have
know
made
your
that guy.
shit is in half working condition, I may
We
not
should have
leave the
made that
parking lot.
guy. We should have made that guy go back whenever he couldn't get in the floor low. It wasn't our ride, but we still should have even tried to convince him to like go home because. But we had no
You
idea what we were.
you put other people at risk and it's not good. Like
Yeah,
if your steering starts going out, if your lockers start going out, if your gears are grinding, it's time to get off the trail. It's not
yeah.
time to finish the ride and then get off the trail. It's time to go. Find the nearest
But that's
exit
also,
and
yeah, I was
leave.
gonna say that's also when, like, kind of as a group, we got to be like, okay, let's try to find the nearest place. If someone needs to go back, well, like Scotty's, whenever his steering went out
He
at
exited the trail.
Alabama, yeah.
Hmm.
Who was the other one that broke that day? But oh, it was Fat Thor.
Yeah,
Well,
he was out.
Daniel, yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah, he was like, okay, like this is bad. And yeah, so it sucked. It added like another hour of us like going back to the parking lot, picking them
Yeah.
back up, stuff like that. But it would have been a whole lot worse if Scotty's like whole damn steering component would have like fallen out and um that
Yeah,
horrible.
it'd be a complete different type of recovery versus him
Right.
limping it back to the parking lot.
I mean,
I
stuff
mean, it sucks
happens.
that if something breaks, well, I mean, look, Sylvia, you broke your U joint, and it
I
took us
know.
forever to get everybody up and to get you situated so you could drive it home. But like our trip
Yeah.
to our Moab trip that we're planning in 2027, it's like, look, we've already thrown in there. If you break, it doesn't matter
I
if
know.
it's me,
Even
if
Art
it's
said that.
Sylvia, if it's whoever else is with us. If you break and we can't fix it, well, you're
You're
either
done for the
riding with
day.
somebody else or you're gonna have to go home.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
And
you
maybe
won't
not
be able to
home, but
come.
you can't be on the trail that day. You
You
need to
can't
fix
Yeah.
you
the stuff.
cannot drive your vehicle until it's fixed.
Yeah.
We like for instance, we will have extra parts and pieces with us to do fixes as needed, but we're not going to be able to bring a whole Jeep
No.
to do
Yeah.
replacements on.
Yeah. And people need to also not
We'll have
expect
U
us
joints, axle
to do all
shafts,
that.
that
So if
kind of
you have
stuff.
extra of that stuff, bring it because if you have it, I'd rather use yours than mine. And then you are fine and my shit breaks and then I don't have what I brought for myself, which is
Well, it's like when we went to S'more. It was what, a 8 hour trip for us.
Hmm.
I brought an extra drive shaft. I brought
Mhm,
an extra front and rear axle shafts.
mhm.
Um, Spare tire, of course.
Yep.
And there was a few other components, fluids. I brought gear oil. I brought
We
antifreeze.
needed,
I
yeah,
brought
we've
oil,
had to
regular
use a
engine
lot of
oil.
fluids.
I brought everything that is something that could go wrong. We had something to be able to replace. And I mean, there's some things that could have broke that we didn't have replacements, but
Yeah.
we try to prepare the best you can
Yeah.
and have stuff readily available, especially if you're going for 3 to 4 a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, if you're driving all the way to Moab, we're gonna have to change our oil in our vehicles at some point.
There.
We're looking at 5,000, especially if you're driving without trailer.
Yeah.
You're going 5,000
I
miles
might I might need new
long
tires by
distance.
the time I got out there if I was
You 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 might
Oh,
need to buy some tires when you get
you'll
there.
need new tires before you get there.
You should already have, especially that kind of trip, you should already have at least tires that I would say 65%
yeah.
by the time you get to where you're going.
Yeah.
At
Although
least
there's people going
65%.
up hills on Moab with racing slicks.
Yeah, they're
So
like slick, so
And they were made slicks. They weren't
yeah.
they weren't actually bought that way.
Yeah. So I'm not that concerned
Out
now since I'll
here,
be
no,
trailered.
I'll
you
run that
can't
up on the
go
steel
up any of
belts.
these trails on slicks. There's too much mud.
If your tires are sitting at 30%, you're not gonna really make it anywhere. And especially in this area.
I'd say
Yeah.
hers
I
are
mean,
probably
it's
50% right
doable.
now
It is
or
doable,
less.
but it's you're not
Yeah.
gonna have the grip that you're gonna need because your lugs are pretty much shot. So
Yeah, thank
I'd
you
almost
guys.
say change them at 50%. Get new ones at 50%.
Around
Between
here.
40, 50%. You really don't want to go. I wouldn't go any lower. I know tires aren't cheap, but
We're going to 0% on those dudes
They're gonna be great.
until we replace them.
right.
You're gonna be winching up
Yeah.
everything.
I
Everything.
didn't say we were going to Moab on them.
With
I'm
my
just
Smittyville.
we got 2 years before Moab. He's had them for 2 years already, 50%. So we're gonna buy a brand new set, put it on the trailer, and then go out there.
There you go.
Yeah, because
Well,
you should have your axles done and bead locks and all that good fun stuff by then.
Right.
Justin laughed. Right.
Right.
all right. All right, well
2030.
that was fun. Can you guys think of anything else?
We're going in 2030 to Moab, right?
Yes,
No.
you
Then
are.
No, that's when the
yes.
TJ build starts.
Oh no, that's not. We're gonna have to push that back.
You gotta push that back in
We're gonna have to
December.
push that back.
We got to push that back. a couple
Yeah,
months.
we're gonna have to push that back again.
Heck, if that's the case, Patrick won't be done by then.
No joke.
Patrick, 2 years, buddy.
I almost forgot that Patrick even had a Jeep.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Poor Patrick. We
Patrick.
love you, buddy.
Sorry, buddy.
How do
We
we-
love you, man.
How did we know him again? I don't remember. It's definitely
But
not.
he occasionally pops up. Like
Yeah.
he popped up at the house Friday.
Okay,
He
so
did.
on Friday at whatever time, however many minutes we've been in, plus 6 o'clock, he'll be texting us. Motherfuckers, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm around. I still own
Yeah.
a Jeep.
We do get feedback every Friday morning on the podcast.
Every Friday morning.
Yeah. They'll send us a text.
If we don't, we kind of worry that either he
Yeah.
forgot to watch or something happened to him. But he's a day one. What is it? Day one listener or something, or listener since day one.
So
Anyway,
next week,
2033, Patrick,
we're
we
gonna
got
need
till
an update
2033
on the podcast
to get started
of your Jeep.
on our builds.
We're gonna
Yeah,
Patrick
Tom,
next week.
Yeah.
Next week, Patrick, we're gonna need you on here for an update.
Update, yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you're free.
You know what? Every other month we need to have him on here
Yeah.
to keep him accountable for his Jeep. That's what we need to do.
We're gonna want to see pictures, videos, and pie
Yeah.
charts on what's been happening.
Your pie charts.
Oh, Patrick. Damn
You know, I
it.
saw this thing on Facebook that said a pizza is just a live pie chart on how much pizza is left.
That's true.
It is.
Oh, there
I
you
was
go.
like,
Well, why
Or
is it square.
not that pizza's left, but pizza that has been eaten.
been eaten. Yeah, you can go either way with that.
Yep.
Facts.
Oh my goodness.
It's funny. All right, well,
Yeah,
it's
you got
after 9
nothing else.
o'clock. It's after 9 o'clock, so I'm about to turn into a pumpkin. You guys got anything else?
No.
Do anything
Keep
coming up?
everybody updated on the pregnant dog
think-
down here.
I think this Saturday is that Jeep at the zoo thing, but I'm working, so I don't know if I'll make it. I'll just have to see.
I won't make it. I'm busy that day.
The mayor's Jeep
It's
thing.
work for everybody. So I'll make it for a little while, a little bit before I go in. So I work that
Yeah,
evening.
it's
that
10 to
afternoon.
5.
At the
It's 10 to
zoo?
5.
Uh-huh.
What are you gonna do at the
It's-
zoo for
It
7
is
hours?
Jeep. It's Jeep Day at the zoo. It's just Jeep Day at the zoo.
It's
It's
just
not
a
for,
hangout.
it's not
Yeah.
for any particular group. It's just Jeep Day at the zoo for Louisville.
Anybody and everybody's welcome.
They just get free parking and stuff, but it's cool. I have to work till like 3, so I don't know that I will want to walk and stand out. But we'll see. We'll see. I might change my mind and decide to go. But we don't have anything this Thursday, right? Which I guess won't matter because it'll be Friday when it
You don't?
goes.
Nothing's just.
Unless I pop something on the calendar, I haven't decided
Okay.
because I work. I know I don't work Thursday, so
Mhm.
so I might pop something on the calendar.
Well, I think we're also
Next
busy
Thursday
Thursday.
is
Sissy tacos.
Sissy Tacos.
So they're
Hopefully
doing
this
sissy
Friday.
tacos once a month.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that, yeah.
Wait,
she did
Thursday
it.
the 10th is Sissy's Tacos?
The 17th.
The 17th next week.
You'll be home. You'll be home finally. Because Dustin will be gone the first part of that week for
Yeah.
3 days.
I'll be gone Monday to Wednesday.
Okay.
Stop biting me, little ass.
Wow.
Whoa.
We should have puppies by then. She
If anybody
can't-
needs any puppies, hit us up in the comments. We've got
Yeah.
some Dow.
What would it?
half Dalmatian, half whatever he is,
Border
It's going to be a
Collie.
bordation.
a bordation,
Bordation.
border collie Dalmatian mix,
Bordation.
a bordation.
Or
They need to be. They,
Dow Collie.
damn call.
A
A
dolly.
damn call is what it is.
It's called a dolly.
A dolly.
A dolly.
There you go. We got dollies for sale. $600
She
each.
is- She already has milk and she is completely uncomfortable.
I like bordation because it almost sounds like
All right.
bordacious.
Bordations, 1,600 each. Hit me up in the
Oh.
chat. Hit me up in the chat.
Hopefully she just has 2 or 3 at the
And
most.
I know you, they are free.
What? How you gonna
Allie
take your
looked
Jeep
up at me
parts-
like, you're giving my puppies away?
Wow.
Yeah, you hooker. Stop it.
And then Diesel's
You know
right
how
here under
many
the deck.
Jeep parts you could buy at 10 puppies at $1,600 a piece?
I didn't even buy her for 1,600. I only bought her for 1,000.
I know, but much more
Yeah, I know.
expensive here.
How much you buy diesel for?
He was free from the Target shopping carts.
Dude.
Diesel was, but he loves
Unhoused.
me.
I
But he
gave
loves me.
you an out.
He's a puppy. He loves everybody,
All right,
Stacy. But he
$1,200 a
loves me.
piece. Hit me up.
When are you coming to
I'll
get
give
him?
Stacy her portion.
You need to be here in 10 minutes.
Free.
10 minutes
Yeah, for
later,
free.
10 minutes later,
Free puppies.
Stacy
Yeah.
calls me and says, "Are you coming to get Diesel? Or coming to get the puppy?" We didn't have your name yet. I'm like, "No. Yes,
No.
please, come get him. Come
No.
get him."
Was asleep in a tote behind guest
That's
service
your
at Target.
problem. You deal with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
What you know,
Yeah.
baby? So,
All
anyway,
right,
Anyways.
well,
At least he
Yep.
know his boys can swim.
apparently.
Apparently.
Bob Barker, everyone. Make sure to spay and neuter your
So-
pets. Also, make sure to like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
See
See
you
you
next-
next
we'll see you
week.
next week.
yeah, we'll
Patrick?
see you next week.
Update next week.
Later.
Same time,
Peace
same
out.
place.
Yep.
See you.
See ya.